Right, episode 2.
That church is my family.
After a gunman opened fire, killing 26 people during their Sunday ritual in a house of worship.
And there's so many that are gone. It hurts so much.
Sutherland Springs joining Las Vegas, Orlando, Newtown, a list of names synonymous with mass shootings in what seems like an endless and accelerating stream of gun violence. Tonight, the community mourning the 26 lives lost, a staggering number in a town with less than 650 people. The dead and wounded ranging from just 18 months old to 77 years old. At least a dozen, maybe more, were children. That includes Pastor Frank Pomeroy's youngest daughter, Annabelle. Pomeroy and his wife were out of town when the shooting happened, but 14-year-old Belle was in the church Sunday morning as usual.
One thing that gives me a sliver of encouragement is the fact that Belle was surrounded yesterday by her church family that she loved fiercely.
For the Holcomb family, death crossed 3 generations. Associate Pastor Brian Holcomb was a guest speaker for services yesterday when the gunman burst in. He died along with his wife Carla, son Mark Daniel, and 1-year-old granddaughter Noah. Their other son John survived, but his pregnant wife Crystal did not. 3 more of her children also died. 8 members of a single family gone, killed in the place so many Americans feel safest, their church. And so many others fighting to survive tonight.
In case, a father of 3 accused of drugging one of his own children in order to have sex with her young friend. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dennis House.
And I'm Denise DeCenzo. The disturbing details came out in court today, and we want to warn you that some of what you're about to hear is very troubling.
Quite frankly, all of it is troubling. Channel 3 New London Bureau Chief Kevin Hogan has details from the mobile newsroom in Colchester.
Kevin.
Well, Dennis and Denise, it's all right here in the arrest warrant. It was led by State Police here at Troop K in Colchester that 42-year-old Robert Chesters was having a relationship with a 12-year-old girl. Now that just lasted a few weeks until the girl's friends found out, and they told school authorities.
42-year-old Robert Chesters, a widowed father of 3, is facing possible jail time. Investigators say he had sex with a 12-year-old girl who was friends with one of his young daughters. Court papers detail how the encounter started when the girl was staying overnight at Chester's house in August for a sleepover with his daughter. The arrest warrant reveals texts found on the girl's phone suggest Bob Chesters was giving his own daughter Benadryl to get her to sleep so he could spend time alone with her friend. On September 8th, he texted the girl, "I am so lost without you. Blank is going next weekend and blank will have Benadryl so you can lay with me comfortably and love me." The young girl's friend saw these sexually charged texts on her phone and told authorities in the middle school, who called police. The arrest warrant reveals this text on August 31st from Bob Chesters. "When we made love last night, your heart really showed through everything."
How old was she?
Many parents in this small community are concerned tonight.
It takes a village to raise a child, and concerns for every child in this
How old?
town. Yes, I'm very concerned.
Bob Chesters was arraigned Wednesday. He pleaded not guilty to first-degree sexual assault charges and risk of injury to a minor.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's really, it stuns me because it's a small community and we do stick together as families in this town.
Court papers reveal Chesters apparently knew the relationship wouldn't last, texting this message at 6:53 in the morning on the day that police were closing
what's
in.
going on all around the
As a
world
last
since
resort, tell them
2018.
blank will lose her dad for 10 years if they say anything. No matter what happens,
This was 2018, I think it's 2023 now. How much this is going on around the world. Scary.
Now, just 2 days after that text, police were called for a medical assist to Chester's house. They found him unconscious in his truck and a suicide note on the floor. And right now, he's in jail. Live at the mobile newsroom in Colchester, Kevin Hogan, Channel 3, Eyewitness.
I had enough.
Oh, this.
You had enough? Why that day? I just thought it was a good time. You remember opening the door, right? It wasn't locked? It wasn't. Did you stand there and look at her for a minute before you did it? Yeah. Did you say goodbye to her in your mind? No. I mean, was this a big swing from over your head? Did she make a noise?
I could just hear the hammer hitting her head.
And what did it sound like?
There was this wet thumping sound.
Yeah. How long before you hit her the second time?
Just a few seconds.
Did you think she was already dead?
She woke up and she started seizing up.
Did she look at you?
I looked into her eyes, but she didn't look at me.
Now to that kidnapping attempt caught on camera. A man grabbing a 13-year-old girl in Florida, dragging her through a store. Her mother fighting back, as you can see. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is here with more on those terrifying moments. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. This morning, that Florida mom is being credited for saving her daughter as a stranger tried to take her from a store. Video showing the mom doing everything possible to keep the would-be kidnapper from getting her 13-year-old.
A brazen kidnapping attack thwarted by a fierce mother, all caught on tape. The whole scene playing out in a Dollar General store Tuesday morning.
I've never seen an instance like this in broad daylight in a public area.
A man is seen shopping and appears to take notice of a mother and her child. Moments later, he grabs hold of that 13-year-old girl, dragging her towards the exit. The teen's mother jumping into action, grabbing the girl. The two fighting over the child as she's pulled through the store. Eventually, the man letting go, fleeing the store, only to be met in the parking lot by an off-duty officer.
Who was off-duty had pulled into the parking lot just by chance.
That officer taking 30-year-old Craig Vanello into custody. The man now facing kidnapping and child abuse charges. The mother being applauded for her quick action and the tug of war that saved her child from a would-be kidnapper.
Something kicks in if you're scared your kid's going to be hurt, your child, you got to do what you got to do.
It was from this house in suburban Adelaide that Shannon McCool secretly ran a global internet child pornography ring that had tens of thousands of members. Rising to head administrator, McCool had complete control over the network, a role only made possible by his unfettered access to children in his care. The public servant, who'd repeatedly abused vulnerable kids as young as 18 months old, was quickly identified by his own depraved internet posts.
We learned that just after midnight, 2 people were shot just in the alley back there. One of them in the head, and we saw police cover his body with a blanket. Over the 4th of July weekend, 102 people were shot. Over the 4th of July weekend, 102 people were shot.
And I got numb to just seeing this every day. And I had to step back and ask myself, why?
You don't want there to be a God? Fine. I'm going to show you how fast your society's going to go down the tubes when you dare do that. You will immediately, he said there, go after sexual impurity, shameful lust, homosexuality. You'll become filled with every kind of wickedness and evil and greed and depravity and murder and strife and deceit and malice. You're going to become a society of gossips and slanders and God haters like atheists, insolent, arrogant, boastful, disobedient to your parents. You're going to become a society who is totally senseless. You're faithless, you're heartless, you're ruthless. It's going to get so stinking bad in your society, you're even going to invent new ways of doing evil. Why? Because you have the audacity to say there is no God when I gave you tons of evidence. Evolution. And so as an act of judgment from God, he gave you what you wanted. Fine, go for it. Have your atheistic, wicked desires and your society fell apart. Is that not America? Is that not our country? Every single one of those behaviors mentioned there, not just one, not just 5 out of 20 or whatever, how many there is. Every single one is commonplace in our society right now. And it stems from what? This atheistic, rebellious mindset that's spawned by the lie of evolution.
You're an atheist?
I am definitely an atheist, yes.
And why are you an atheist?
Why am I an atheist? Because there is no God.
Atheism assumes that you can disprove the existence of a God.
Agnostic is a more correct term, but I'm an atheist.
Are you an atheist?
Yeah.
I am an atheist, yeah.
I am, yes.
I am.
So you're not an atheist?
No.
So you're leaning that way because of evolution?
Yeah.
I don't believe in there's a guy in the sky that lives in the sky.
You believe in evolution?
Of course I do, yes.
Live science says of Darwinian evolution, it can turn dinosaurs into birds, apes into humans, and amphibious mammals into whales.
What Darwin showed in his work on evolution and natural selection is that we don't need to invoke any supernatural force or power to account for the development of life through time on Earth.
The ongoing processes that are observable in today's world.
Do you think it's a belief?
I think it's just fact.
I think more like facts.
There is too much evidence to ignore.
Do you think it's a belief?
No, it's science.
It's the way it happened.
It's logical.
You know, all the scientists pretty much agree with it.
It's more of a fact.
When did you start to believe?
When I started to think for myself.
When did you start believing?
When I took my first biology class. It all started to make a lot of sense. The teacher made it very, very easy to understand. I generally trust the scientific community. Makes more sense than any religion or anything. The fossils they found of all the cavemen, the Homo sapiens, the dinosaurs, it shows clear evidence.
I believe in science.
What's your major here at this university?
Biology.
You're a biology major?
Yeah.
You believe in evolution?
Yes.
Well, what's your major?
Geology.
Chemistry?
Biochemistry.
Environmental science and policy.
I'm a physicist. Biochemistry.
Hey, do you believe in evolution?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yes, I do. Of course.
Yes, I do.
I do believe in evolution.
You believe in evolution?
Yes.
Are you a strong believer?
Yes.
Are you a strong believer?
Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
A scientific method is based on the collection of data through observation and experimentation. Science Daily.
Could you give me some observable evidence that evolution is true? Something I don't have to receive by faith.
Yeah.
Some observable evidence.
I mean, take a look at what happened 65 million years ago.
Hang on, I can't. That's 65 million years ago.
I believe, millions of years.
So that can't be observed.
We can trace the evolution through the fossil record.
Could you be specific? Just give me one.
Between 6 and 7 million years ago.
Hundreds of thousands to millions of years?
So it's quite a long time. Yes. Millions of years. Yes. So it can't be observed.
Evolution is not testable over time.
We are condemned to live only for a few decades, and that's too slow, too small a time scale to see evolution going on. Richard Dawkins. We see nothing of these slow changes in progress until the hand of time has marked the lapse of ages. Charles Darwin.
You've got the canine kind, the coyote, and the domestic dog, and there's the feline kind, which is the cats, the tiger and the kitten, and you've got humankind. So Darwin said there'd be a change of kinds over many years, so could you give me one example of observable
Battery's
evidence?
running out.
This I believe was like 60 million years ago.
I don't want something I have to accept by faith. I want it to be observable.
Observable evidence. Well, I mean, if you're just asking me here on the street, there's not really much I can tell you in terms of observable evidence. Like, we would have to really examine existing data to draw conclusions of our own.
I would have to have faith then.
We would have to have some amount of faith.
Can you think of any observable evidence for Darwinian evolution?
I believe that there are connections that are out there that we haven't found yet.
I'm gonna trust what those experts did. Those experts came up with.
I have a strong trust in evolutionary ideas based on the evidence presented.
Can you think of any observable evidence for Darwinian evolution, a change of kinds?
I haven't seen it myself, but I believe what the textbooks tell me about it, so...
You've got faith in the experts?
I have faith in the experts, yeah.
I'm accepting that they did their science correctly.
Could you give me an example of Darwinian evolution? Not adaptation or speciation, but a change of kinds.
These are changes of kinds.
They're still fish.
They're distinctly different fish.
We have thousands of examples.
Can you give me one?
I can give you thousands.
Just one.
For instance, I would say look at Lenski's experiments of bacteria then.
So what do the bacteria become?
The bacteria are still bacteria, of course.
That's not Darwinian evolution. That's not a change of kinds, is it?
It is a change. It is a change in the genetic makeup of the bacteria, but
that's still bacteria. So what do the bacteria become?
A new kind of bacteria.
Still bacteria, there's no change of kinds. Darwin spoke of a change of kind. Can you think of any observable evidence for Darwinian evolution with this change of kind?
Change of kind. I'm gonna have to think about that one a little longer.
You give me anything that I can see, observe, and test, which is the scientific method for Darwinian evolution, a change of kinds.
Test and observe.
Could you give me observable evidence, which is the scientific method for Darwinian evolution, a change of kinds?
Okay, I gotta think about it. So you want the evidence of it?
I would say
I cannot, I think. It's a hard question, actually.